Welcome. If everything works correctly, you should be hearing me. Everything should work. I hope. I've been changing my audio settings, and I have figured something out that might change a lot of things, that might make things a lot nicer for me when I'm streaming. So, I'm not sure, are there any people watching already? There's 5 people watching right now. If anybody can say something in the chat and let me know if it works, then that would be great. It works. Nice. Nice. Okay. So, let me switch and just explain real quick what I did. I always use Sonarworks when I'm not streaming. So when I'm just making music, I'm using Sonarworks to calibrate the audio of my speakers and my headphones. And that works great. It's great because then I have more bass in my headphones and on my speakers as well. It's just easier to hear the bass. So it's something I always use, but then when I'm streaming, I turn it off because I don't want the stream to hear the calibrated audio, because that wouldn't make sense for the people watching the stream, because you're probably not using the same headphones and you're also not in the same room using the same speakers as I do. So it makes no sense for people watching the stream to hear the calibrated audio. So I would always just turn it off because I couldn't find a way to get the calibrated audio sent to my headphones and the non-calibrated audio sent to the stream. But I think I figured it out. I changed a couple of things and it seems to work now. So we're going to stream today and see if it works. And yeah, let's hope it works fine. So I did a couple of things. It's I am back to using Voicemeeter again. So we have Sonarworks, and this is what is receiving the audio from Voicemeeter now. So we have the Motu interface driver that is receiving audio from Sonarworks. So everything coming out of the Motu is running through Sonarworks, which is good because that's everything I want to hear. But before that, because Sonarworks is getting audio from something as well, and that is now getting audio from Voicemeeter. So Ableton and Windows come in on these two channels, and those channels are then sent to A1, which is Sonarworks, right here. So that is sending to Sonarworks. That is what I am hearing, and then B1 is sending to Streamlabs. So that sends the audio to Streamlabs so that everybody can hear the uncalibrated audio. And the only issue is that the driver I need to use inside of Voicemeeter is the WDM driver of Sonarworks, because there's no ASIO option down here. That's the only thing that's a little bit of a pain, because it adds a slight amount of latency. And when I play on my MIDI controller, it's a little bit, well, I can notice it, but it's not that bad. So I can still play, but it's not that bad. Well, it's bad enough that I can notice it when I'm playing. So I'm going to be asking the people of Sonarworks, which now have their newer software, if their newer software has an ASIO driver that I can select, for instance, in Voicemeeter, because if that will be the case, then I definitely want to upgrade. But for now, I think this works. So I have, when I play something in Ableton here, let me just play this first section. So you can hear that, even though it might be a little bit quiet, but that's fine for now. If the levels are too quiet in just a bit, we'll just adjust them. And I'm hearing the calibrated version, and if I bring the volume here down in Sonarworks, I don't hear anything right now. But looking at Streamlabs, you should still be able to hear the audio, if I'm correct. And if that's the case, then it works. Then that's what. Then it's currently working. Then I hear Sonarworks, and you guys are not hearing Sonarworks. So also, if I do this, is the level changing for you guys? Or stays the level the same? That's a question I wanna. It stays the same. Good. Then it's working correctly. Nice. that means I can just work with Sonarworks on now. I'm also not using Sonarworks in my DAW anymore, so it's not on the master track anymore, it's just using the system-wide app. So I'm just having the system-wide app. In the Windows settings here, I'm sending the Windows audio to Voicemeeter, because Voicemeeter, Sonarworks by default, it will tell you that the default device in your Windows needs to be Sonarworks. And it will also do that by default, I think. It will just switch it to be Sonarworks, whatever you do. You need to go into the settings in Sonarworks, and you need to turn that off right here. You need to have this unchecked, and then you can select something else here. So I just selected Voicemeeter, which is receiving the Windows audio here, and the Ableton audio here, sending it down to here and to here. This is going to here into Sonarworks, and this is going into OBS. I think I fixed it. The only issue is now that it adds a little bit of latency, but it's not as bad as it was before when I was using just Voicemeeter on the old Focusrite interface, so it's definitely manageable, but yeah, that's nice. Good. Finally. It took me really long to figure this one out. I really spent so much time on this, and I could never figure it out. But the whole solution was just so much simpler than I actually thought it was. Was there a huge difference after calibration? Well, there is quite a bit of difference. You can see it right here. Like, the blue line, that's the before. So that's before the calibration, and the purple line is after the calibration. And it's not set to 100% dry wet. I always have it at like 60%, something like that, between 60 and 70. But you can kind of see what it's doing already. Like, this is the increase in bass that I get right here, basically. And this big boost here, that is characteristics of the Bayers. Like, Bayer Dynamics have this really high boost in the high frequencies that allows you to really hear a lot of detail in the high frequencies, which is great, but it also tends to be a little bit piercing sometimes on longer sessions. So it brings those down a little bit, and it just flattens the whole curve ever so slightly. Like, I can go up to 100, which makes it basically flat. But I find it sounds a little bit weird when I do that. So I just have it like 60-ish, 66 in this case. And it definitely makes quite a bit of sense. On my speakers, it's even worse. Like, look at that. Look at this peak. That's an issue with my room. I have right around like 150, 160 hertz. There's this huge peak that just resonates. And it only resonates in the left speaker. So it's on the left side of the room, I think. And on the right side, there's not as much. So it's really weird, but that is completely, well, almost completely corrected for with Sonarworks. It still obviously is going to be there, but it's trying to correct it a good amount, and it's definitely better without it. I mean, it's not really a problem because that buildup of like 150 hertz is like on the other side of the room right now, so it's not necessarily a problem where I'm sitting. But I mean, it still works. It's not the best, obviously. It would be better to have a better room that's actually acoustically treated and just laid out in a better way, but hey, gotta work with what you have. That's future goals, I guess. So, I have the project from the last stream. I did change a couple of things yesterday. I went through it, and I basically saved the parts that I liked, and removed everything that I didn't like. I played around with the chord progression because I didn't like it, and when I listened to it on yesterday, I didn't like it, so I changed it around, and I went for a much more simpler chord progression. And I'll play you the part we have right now. I removed the bass, by the way. I think I want to redo it, so we're gonna do that today. I still have drums here, but we'll play it up until about here. So up until about there. But yeah, you can see the chord progression has changed a little. It's a lot more simple. It's just two chords over and over that are just repeating, and then they change ever so slightly here towards the end. Whereas before I was trying to, I feel I was trying to use almost every chord in the scale, and was a little bit overkill. This definitely is a bit more interesting. And I found this weird, interesting synth on top that I used. So I'll play this, and then we'll get into the stream. I think that's a pretty cool chord progression. So, it's obviously very simple right now because the pad that it starts off with is literally just a sine wave. I think it's a sine wave with some saturation. Yeah, it's literally just a sine wave. So it sounds very simple. I might want to make this, you know, with a much more interesting pad, but it's more that the notes are there and that it has the right sort of like vibe that I can sort of like work off from, so I know where I want the track to go. Because last stream I spent like a ton of time just playing with that chord progression and just making stuff for it, and then I came to the conclusion, I don't like it. And then I went back to tweaking the chord progression, and I went back to making something for it, and just kept going back and forth, right? So it's like, I need to just figure the chord progression out, and then start thinking about the sound design. Vibes like Noisia Cleansing, which, oh man, I'm trying to remember what that track went like. Like if I leave it like this, the intro has a lot of pleasure model vibes, because that starts in a very similar way, just a sine wave pad. Or maybe Cleansing does too. I'm not sure. Could be the case actually. But this chord progression, I like it a lot more. It's in the key of C minor, actually. Or C harmonic minor, maybe even. But it's, yeah, C minor. And... Oh, you mean pleasure model. Ah, yeah, then I get what you mean, yeah. Then I totally get what you mean, because it does, right now. And that's because that starts off with a sine wave as well. It's just that they do that sine wave thing with the harmonics, which is quite interesting. So they use the harmonic series in it as well, which gives it a slightly different sound as to what I'm doing. I'm just using notes, so I'm not using the harmonic series. I'm just telling the patch to play certain notes, and those are saturated together. So you can hear throughout this thing, when the sol wave thing comes in, this sol wave thing has a bit of it's made in phase blend. It has a bit of movement to it, like it has a bit of detuning to it, and that is coming from the unison here, and that layers because it plays sort of like the same notes as that sine wave pad, and when the two layer, they start, when this sol wave one comes in, they start kind of moving a little bit, and it gives it this really interesting oscillation that I kind of like. So I definitely want to see if I can keep that in the final track, because that's definitely going to give the intro a very cool feeling. If it just starts with like very static notes, and then when that pad comes in, that second layer, it just starts modulating with each other, and it creates this interesting movement. Like, listen to it when you listen to it together. It starts like very static, and then let me bring the automation up so you can see it. See, this coming up, And you can see it here as well, starting to appear at some point. You can hear it. See? And I love that. That's so... like, that's a really cool effect. Now it's also there if I just remove it, so it's literally just this saw wave pad that's doing it. So we don't necessarily need the sine wave pad for it. But with this one in there, it just feels thicker. So I'm thinking of leaving it and maybe just having it in there and maybe just starting like this. I mean, could go for such a similar vibe. I mean, why not? Like in the intro at least, like for that start of the intro. But yeah, I also have this weird synth thing that I came up with that is currently just playing 2 notes. And this I made from, oh yeah, it's still in here, Labs. I had Spitfire Labs open and I was just going through some patches and I found like a weird pad sample and it had like quite an interesting sound actually. So, show in browser. See, so I just bounced that to audio, and I put it in a sampler, and I used that with some reverb on it to give it some, well, to basically add a layer that comes in. And that layer we can so like make that move along with the chords so that it plays like an interesting harmony on top of those chords. And here it changes. Here it changes to a major interval here instead of the perfect fifth that it's playing the entire time. So I am in C minor, but I'm playing F as the first chord. So the first chord is F. So the bass note is the first bass note in the track will also be F. So that's a nice note. And then afterwards we can go to either a really low C or a higher C. So not sure yet what we're gonna do in the drop, but we'll see. Let's see. One thing that I notice every now and then when I skip tracks that the audio is getting quieter. I'm not sure why that is. If I don't do anything, it's not happening, so keep an eye on that. See if we can figure that out. Switch that to the right one. So right here, what is that? Okay, that sounds weird. So let's leave this one. Like I could also here extend this note and just make it pitch up over time. That could also be nice. But I want to start with maybe adding some rise thing here to kind of build the tension. Let's bounce that. And then let's go into here. Let's drop that in here. Oh, let's switch to a sampler. Let's drop that in there. Now that is in C already, so I can just put it somewhere here. So let's turn MPE off. Kind of like it when it extends on that note first. How much? Macro 1, let's assign that to here. Let's automate that as well. And then let's do a couple of more things. So let's just do a little bit. Okay, let's see if that works pitch-wise and if we have to change maybe something there. Hello from Ukraine. Want to ask you where I could listen to your new tracks. Well, currently not anywhere, unless you're watching my YouTube channel. But when they're done, they should be up everywhere. So, by the time they'll be done, then you'll be told, and I'll tell you where you can find them. So C5 would make it end up on F. I think that should be good. Because the first note of the drop is going to be F as well. Or we could go up to a full 7, then we're going to go up to G. If we're going to go a full octave, then we're going to go to C again, so... Yo, Kenny. Yeah, I can see this working. Ooh, that's nice. I love Pigments. Pigments is such a good synth. Oh yeah. That's cool. this will be good for now. Okay, let's try bringing this one. No, don't want to do that. Let's bring this one down. It's a bit much, maybe. We could try 19, 17. No, 12 it is. Yo, Don Low Beats. Welcome. I'm quickly setting everything up for the bass stuff. Let's set up the sidechain. There we go. There we go. I literally just answered that question, Steamboat. Let's see. So for bass, Yo, Sefia as well. Welcome everyone. So yeah, the bass is probably gonna follow this pattern as well. Maybe change faster. Like we might do a change faster, but I'm gonna see. Maybe I'll just use notes from the F minor chord in this section to make changes, and then notes of the G. What is that? G minor chord? Yeah. Yeah, G minor. Or C minor, my bad. In the second half. Because that's kind of what the chords in the intro are doing as well. See, they're changing every 4 bars. We could also do 2 bars though in the drop. We'll see what works fine. Now obviously we're gonna need more stuff in the intro, but I want to think about that later. We have the main chord progression there, and so like the main vibe of the intro. I also really like that kick build. It's just very simple. It's literally just this. Just a 16-note kick, just underneath it, that replaces the sine wave pad. So that kind of is where the bass in the intro is coming from. It's kind of like not really bass, it's like an octave too high. But that kind of goes away here at the start of the build, and then the kick takes over, which is lower pitched, so it kind of fills up the sub range a bit. But it kind of comes in over time, and I did this with the attack of the serum patch. So I just mapped a macro to the attack time here with just a little bit, and then in the first part the attack time is up quite a bit, and then it comes in over time. So it gets stronger and stronger as the build continues. And I really like that underneath there. So obviously we need more stuff in this to be a full build, but for now it kind of works. I kind of want to keep this. I kind of like how that fills up the low end and how it sort of like rumbles in the low end. And then as that attack comes in, you hear that it's a kick drum, and it's like, oh hey. Oh, that might be really loud. That might have been quite loud. Sorry if that was really loud. My bad. Let me check real quick. Donations. Where is that? Alert settings. Where's the volume? No, that's the text-to-speech volume. Let me quickly fix it for you guys in case somebody else decides to donate. Because damn, that was loud. Oh, there we go. Let me just ease that up a bit. There we go. There we go. Thanks for the donation, by the way, Steamboat. Thanks a lot. Hey, that also means that the little thing in the screen is filled up again. With the you're the first person donating this month, so man, that was loud. But yeah, that should be better now. In case somebody wants to test it, links to the donation stuff is in the description. Oh, there we go. Let's wait with playing because there's another one coming in. Thank you, Don Wall Beats. Is that better though? I feel like that's. Oh wait. Wait. I remember. I know. The super chat is a different one. I changed the one for donations, but that is the Streamlabs donations. The super chat feature has a separate volume slider. For fuck's sake. Well, I guess thanks for testing. Let me quickly check if there's any more. In case somebody becomes a member, does that have a? Yes, that also has a volume slider. Let me turn that down a bit. Super chats. Let me actually see if it has saved it. Yes, okay. Follows, the rest is all turned off. Then I think it should be all good now. Okay. I think it was the same volume. It was actually the same volume. Because it was a completely different setting. I had just turned the one for regular Streamlabs donations down and not the one for super chats. So fixed it, I hope. Now it's probably gonna be too quiet or something. Oh hey, thanks Steamboat. And there's actually quite a delay between that as well. Might have to check after the stream if I can fix that. Not gonna bother doing that right now. Or is it now completely bugged out and it doesn't even give us the alert? What? Oh. Ah, that's better, I think. We need to hear it compared to Ableton audio, but... Then after that, that should be better. Thanks anyways for the tests. I think it's better now. Shouldn't scare people completely away anymore. Especially if they have their volume turned up a little, you know. Yeah. So we're gonna have. Yeah, that's gonna be it. It's low for C, but we're gonna have a top note on top of it, and I'll just layer like an octave in it so that we have like the upper harmonics of that extra note. Because it's gonna sound completely different if we go up to this one. Also works, but I like it when it goes down to that really deep C. Still scared, but in a good way. Hey, it should be better now. It should be a lot better. We might even be able to do like a little gap on that last snare again. And then maybe go up to... Obviously it doesn't work like that yet because we haven't set up unison, but... think we're in harmonic minor, but... Then we're going up to the high one. And I might switch to regular minor at the end. We'll see what we'll do there, but I might switch between harmonic minor and regular minor because that's, you know, that works perfectly fine. Now, obviously, we're going to need the top notes as well. So let's see what happens if we add them in here. It's going to sound a little weird, but... So I think that first chord is playing a C on top of the F. Yeah. So C3. So that one indeed. So we should get the same... That last one is a little weird, but we'll fix that. And then we get C with G on top. And then let's see. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what will work on top of it. We could also try the harmonic series for the drop. That will make it easier. Let's see. And we need to make a good patch for it. See, that last part I don't like, but the first part kind of works. So let's start working on this patch. Let's do this so we can do that. We can add some pitch bends as well. So that's really gonna help. Kind of needs one here, so Let's do that. So let's just do that one right here, and then this one right there. Okay, so now we can just copy it like that. The last part's obviously gonna change, but let's see what happens if we start working on this. See, that first part works pretty well with the distortion, like this first section. Like it has the right... That might even be better. Like sometimes it has a very subtle difference, but it's obviously going to be a bigger difference if you change this, but this will have more bass, so... Ooh. Yeah, that's better. Like changing the phase in this one, so it's aligning with this one. See? Here, and then... just has more bass, because it's better aligned. Like here it's completely out of phase. And here it just suddenly gets really powerful. That's because the phase is aligned with this one. So that should be a good position for that. Then we can filter it again after here. I might want to do it after Serum, so I might just want to basically just start working in post-processing now on this. Because then we can apply that to any other layers we might potentially add as well, which might be something we want to do. Because right now it's just a very simple bass like that. So let's oh yeah. Let's turn MPE off. Let's do that. Copy this to there. So that follows along. And let's see. Let's try starting with this one. I might even want to do the distortion in a Serum Effects. Let's try that actually. So let's try adding a Serum Effects right after here, and then just doing this. Okay, let's go into, let's add a utility, or no, let's just do it with an EQ. Let's grab Pro Q, and let's do a high pass that's on the side. Yeah, that gets rid of a lot of bass. So what I'm gonna do is in here, I want to have a different position for this, basically. So let's listen to the mono. Mono. Bring that up a little. And we basically want to have a position here where it's slightly different from each other, but that's gonna be really fucked to get. Oh, does that work? No, it's completely out of phase from each other. Maybe if we do 3. That's better. Still out of phase from each other, but let's see if we add this one back. Just want to make sure that we... Oh, wait. Am I cutting the mid? I'm fucking stupid. Why does nobody say anything? That I'm cutting the fucking mid channel, not the side channel. There we go. Now... I'm actually removing too much. Yeah, it's not even that big of a deal now. That's fine. You're cutting the mid channel. Thanks, mate. Okay, so let's turn MPE off for this one. And in here, I'm also going to add an external instrument so that I can send the... Is it? Yeah, track 13. Send that into Serum Effects so I can key track things inside Serum Effects if I have to. So let's play around with an EQ here. Obviously, we're going to have to do quite a bit of stuff to get rid of some of the really heavy mid-range stuff. But I want to see first what happens if we have like a boost happening through it. Maybe moving a little. So how long is one of these sections? That is 2 bars. Okay. Oh, actually. boosting that into the distortion is actually kind of cool. So assign you to here. That's a little weird. But maybe if we do 4 and then make it go like that. Kinda cool. Let's see. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, EQ. EQ after serum effects. There we go. No, you're not supposed to boost this up like that, but hey, it kind of works, so... Kind of works. No, I'm not gonna have that one run through the same chain. I'm gonna see, because I feel like we need a top layer to it. Let's grab this and put that on here, and then let's copy this one as well, and then I'm gonna see if it might, maybe just the high notes. Well, you know what, I'll just find out the notes. So let's see, we have... This one needs to be quite wide, so we're gonna get a lot of width from this one, a lot of detuning. I'll leave it a saw wave for now, but we're probably gonna change that. F. So maybe just the same notes as the bottom notes then. Jesus! Okay, it sounds big, that's one thing that's for sure. After that build up. One moment. Let me turn that one off real quick. no, it's not entirely right. It needs to have that same harmonic in it as what the intro has. That is what it needs. So we're losing that because of the distortion right here, because this boosts into the distortion. If I take that off, it's more there, but it's still not entirely right. So maybe I just need to make the no loads into a bass, and then have the higher notes, the harmony be played by something else on top, so that we get that same kind of feeling as what we have in the intro. How are we gonna make this one? Okay, so we need C. That will be C. 6 would also be C. Let me check real quick. C3 is what the harmonic in the first bass in the intro was, so that, and then that's the same note. Slightly off, because it's the harmonic series, so it's like C and what, 2 cents, but that one should layer perfect with the distortion, so that should work. And this one is doing, second one is doing C and G, so that's the same thing. It's just changing the MIDI note. This one. So if I do that to that, and then we grab, let's just turn this one on for now. So those two together should give the same sort of like feeling as what the entire thing of the intro is doing. It's obviously not going to be a big enough bass yet, but it should have the same harmony. Yeah. Yeah, this is what we need. That kind of harmony is what we need in this whole thing. That's basically the harmony we need in the drop as well. So, like this we should be able to distort and stay really clean. We should even be able to use a regular sine wave here. Not sure if this matters. No, it doesn't matter. So that works. That's really helpful as well. So that we can use to kind of bring that harmonic in. Okay. That should work. Actually quite a cool sound. Bloop bloop. Don't know what it did there. 2 notes, but ooh. I mean, it's totally unusable, but could be cool for some sound design. Okay. matter that much, but let's see. And like it. I have something in mind, but I'm not sure how to make it. One of those again. Think. kind of need this high thing to continue in a way, but probably with a different patch or a bigger patch to kind of fill up the bass as well, and then the bass needs to play along with that. Let me make a different patch for it real quick that sounds a little bit more nicer, because this one is a bit harsh on top of the bass. Needs to be wider, so let me just grab a couple of detuned saws. So gonna have this maybe continue up until the drop, and then damn it, why do I always pick the hardest things to make? Why the hell are they firing fireworks outside? Somebody's going absolutely mad with fireworks. Okay. Is there some special event today that I don't know of? Like, I know it's Pride Amsterdam, but I don't live in Amsterdam, so that should not be it. Oh, it's gone now, but strange. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the high pass. My bad. Yeah, okay, so let's think. Oh. What are we gonna do after that? Did you save? I did now. Trying to visualize in my head what I want to do after it. Well, I have an idea, but I have no clue how to make it. let's just make patch for this. This. Because this is totally not what I was, what I really had in mind. Like what I have in mind is like a pretty sustained bass. How am I gonna describe it? Yeah, well, basically just following the chords as well that are in that intro. God damn it. Like it starts to see, now I'm getting annoyed. That's not good for the stream. But now I'm getting annoyed that it's not working what I wanted to do. And I had this a couple of weeks ago as well, and then like I take a break after the stream and I come back and I just get something in like, I don't know, an hour. It's so annoying. God fucking Oh, I removed something. Those are just image line wave candy. Just get that. Yeah, so now we're getting stuck. That's great. That's really great. We've made a bunch of things that where I try to sustain bass. Doesn't sound nice together. Oh, that one sucks completely. That has sort of like the right notes, but I don't really think I want to do like a pitch bend jump there. I just want to have like a big sustained bass coming in the drop, and then it needs to have the harmony of the intro on top of it. And that far we can get pretty easily, but making the patch for it seems to be a bit of a pain today. Maybe we should just work on the intro. Fuck it. Still don't understand where that volume jump is coming from when I switch between these tracks right here. That click, I don't know where that's coming from. That's for some reason it does that when I switch between some tracks. These it's fine. I think it has something to do with this. Maybe if I turn that off. No, see? But hear how that gets louder? Sometimes? And I have no clue where that's coming from. Maybe you guys don't hear it get louder, by the way, if I do that. That could also be the case. Then it's something in my audio routing settings. But where that is necessarily coming from. Yeah, I have an idea in my head. I know exactly what I want, but making it seems to be a lot tougher than I had hoped. Um, so for the sub, it's pretty simple actually. It's you can hear it in your puzzle as well. Well, I know exactly what I want. That's the whole point. Like, if I didn't know what I wanted to do, that would have been like, then it would have been fine because then I'm just stuck. But I'm not necessarily stuck in that sense. I know what I want in this one, but making it is the problem. Getting the right patch and the right sound that works for that well that drop. Um, and I know where it sort of like needs to go note-wise. That's not really the problem. It needs to start with that F sub, and then not on the first beat, but either on the first snare or on the sort of like the third beat, and then it extends up until here. And then here it does like a pitch bend or something, like on the last snare, and then it goes to that C. So let me do it an octave up so everybody can hear it properly. See, we get... Let me boost the volume as well so it's a little bit louder. But then deeper, of course. And then on top of that, it needs to have that C. So you get... that harmony. That needs to be in it. That's one thing I know for sure as well. But that doesn't necessarily have to be there in terms of the notes. We can also do it with the harmonic series to get that in there, because it's just a fifth. So that's not that big of a deal. Oh, wait. Dun, 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 dun. That's kind of what I'm hearing, so... Dun, dun. Oh, wait, we need to do... Let's just do that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. And then it needs to basically come in on that one, but probably be like pitch bend on this section here. That's triggering a limiter or something. It's triggering something because it's getting distorted on that C note. So that's kind of the pattern, I think. Now, is that still the... Yeah, that's still 4 bars before it goes from that F to that C. So it's kind of the same thing as the intro. Now if we add a saw wave on top so we can hear it a little bit better. I'm not sure what that last part is gonna have to do, but at least this part needs to do that, and then this one could maybe even, oh well, maybe even go up to a high C, like, so. Yeah, that could be it. But then, yeah, it needs pitch bends. That I know as well. So I was that far. So, yeah, I like doing the pitch bends just here so I can see them in the automation lane. Only downside of that is that I have to do it once for every instance of serum that I use. So if I add a layer, I need to do it again there. Oh, damn. So, like, it needs, yeah, like, right here at the end, we need a pitch bend. So you get... like, and then do it more like that. Then kinda at the end of that one as well, right? So, like, if we just have this one here. That would lead it back into that C, because we will have a C on top of this, right? So we need to think about that as well. There will be sort of like a C note on top of the bass here, either in the harmonic series or just using an additional layer, an additional synth. So that C, like if I'm gonna have this go to C as well, that would be feeling a little bit strange, probably leading back into the start. So if we do like the D sharp, which is the minor third of that chord that would be underneath this whole thing, if there would be chords underneath it, there would be a C minor chord here. So we could go to that D sharp, then so that works. I can add some noise on top of it. But that's not really the patch we need. We need something that has quite a bit of harmonics actually. It needs to be quite big. Like we can use this for the sub without the noise probably. That should work just fine. But like it needs to be some sort of a saw wave patch. But with FM or something. Yeah, I should have just done the pitch bends in the clip itself. That would be so much easier. Let me take that same MIDI. And I'll just take the pitch bend here. And I'll just drop that in this MIDI clip here. Why are these not exactly 0? That's weird. 0. Maybe because I copied them over from an automation lane, I'm not sure. Let me just make sure that they're 0. Like that. Can remove that one there. That one is that. Okay, now they should be 0. Can we not do that? Come on, that would have been so good. Oh no. Okay, can we map that to macro? Oh, we can. Nice. So if I do that and that, then we can. Oh, sweet. That's weird. So the bands can overlap. Interesting. Oh wait, we have of course just it's fucking loud right now. I know. No sidechain, so that doesn't help either. But I think it needs a really slow movement. Like a really slow movement, and then it needs to grow. But so far, everything I tried doesn't turn out the way I want. That's another one. I mean, I'm not removing any of the patches because who knows, maybe I can save them and use later, but so far we haven't made a lot of progress today. Yeah, I'm literally at the point of just rage quitting the entire stream today. Sorry. And that's what we're gonna do. Sorry, everybody, but I can't do this any longer tonight. I need a break. And you'll see, I take a break for an hour and then I come back and then I'll figure something out. That's how it usually goes when I have a stream like this. Anyways, any last things people want to say in the chat? Those last 7 people that are watching? If not, join the Discord. Link is in the description below the stream. And that way you'll be updated when I go live again in the hope that that stream will be better than this one. Because this one wasn't the greatest. But hey, what can you do? Not much. Anyways, I'll be back soon. Friday next week on 8:30 p.m. Amsterdam time. If I do figure something out, I don't know, maybe tonight still or somewhere else, then I'll probably schedule an extra live stream. Maybe tomorrow, like if I figure something out tonight and I do suddenly find a drop or something that could work, then yeah, who knows, maybe tomorrow I can stream as well, but yeah, it totally depends if I can find something, because I first need to get rid of this mood that I have now. This mood of being angry at Ableton. But we'll push through. We'll push through. It'll work out. It'll work out. We're just having a bit of a case of writer's block the last couple of streams, which happens every now and then. So, well, I guess nobody has something to say. Well, then we're just gonna end, and I'll see you guys again soon. I don't really have anything to play during the outro, but that's fine. So, I'll see you in the Discord if you want to join. Links in the description below the stream. If you want to help support, Patreon is the best place. There you can download monthly sample packs with all kinds of samples that I make. When I actually have, you know, because I do make samples that sound quite good every now and then, but just not tonight. But if you want something and support as well, then you can do that on Patreon. So check out the links in the description if you want to find that. And that's gonna be it. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.